What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here to break down the 2021 NFL schedule for the Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders in 2021, going game by game, pick by pick, giving you the matchups I like, the matchups I don't like, and ultimately the record prediction for the Raiders in 2021. So before I break that down and give you that record prediction, make sure that you do spike that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more bottom line view content just like this. And let me know in that comment section below how you think the Raiders will do in 2021. Let's check out that schedule. The Raiders kick off the 2021 NFL season at home on Monday night on the lone Monday night game. Prime time, baby, in Las Vegas, taking on Lamar Jackson. And I will say this, if there is a chance to beat the Ravens all year, it could be week 1 in your building with the fans back. I won't rule it out, but the Ravens are far more talented than the Raiders. I'm sorry. So I will go with the Ravens. They've got Lamar Jackson. They've got a good defense, man. They're very, very talented, and it would be difficult for me to say the Raiders would beat them, but I'm not going to rule out the upset. Week 2, they play the Steelers. This is a game they could win, okay? If the Raiders want to be good this year, they have to win games like this. All right, so there's quite a few games like this. And this is my real confliction, let's say. That's a word, right? That is my conflict with the Raiders, is these games where they play the Steelers, the Dolphins, the Bears, the Broncos twice, the Eagles, the Giants, the Bengals. These teams where I really feel like it's kind of 50-50, they need to win more of those than lose them. In recent seasons, they've been 8-8-ish, 7-9-ish, and they've upset some teams they shouldn't have beat. And they've lost to some teams that they shouldn't have lost to. Okay, so there's been up and down. This year, it's rather going to be they're going to win some of the games that they shouldn't win, and they're going to beat the teams they shouldn't beat. Or it's going to be they're not going to win those games that they usually win, where they upset teams, and they're going to drop games to bad teams. It's this year, I just don't think it's going to be a mix of both. I think they're rather taking a step forward or taking a step back. And a large reason I believe this is because of the offseason they've had. They've had an utterly confusing offseason, from the free agency to the draft to the strategy overall. I don't know what's going on in Las Vegas. It's rather going to work or it's going to be a disaster. There's no in between, okay? So week 2, I could see them winning the game, but I think they lose a shootout type game to the Steelers. I think eventually the Steelers defense, with the playmakers they have, will make more plays than the Raiders defense. The Steelers are also at home, and that gives them the edge. I'm going to leave week 3 because that's a game that I want to discuss a little bit later. Week 4, they play the Chargers. They play the Chargers twice, of course. They're in their division. I think the Raiders will beat the Chargers at least once this year. So I'm going to say they beat them week 18, and I'm going to say they lose to them in week 4. It's tough to go to a rival's house on a Monday night and beat them. Week 5, the Bears. I have you beating the Bears. I'm just going to say you win because Derek Carr is the better quarterback, and I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, I don't think the Bears really have the offense to expose the Raiders defense either, which helps. Week 6. Now I have you beating the Broncos once and losing to the Broncos once. I think with the Chargers and the Broncos, you should be able to at least split. If you can beat one of those teams both times, that will go a far way in being better than I think. Okay? Week 7, you play the Eagles. I have the Raiders winning this game in a shootout. Again, I think Derek Carr is the deciding factor here. I think John Gruden has proven he can coach offense if he can do anything. And that will win them that game in Las Vegas. Bye week, Then you play the Giants in New York, on the road, across the country almost. I have the Giants. A game where I think this is a tough matchup for the Raiders because I don't think they have the corners to defend the Giants receivers. I don't think they have, the ability to overpower them up front. The Giants have a very sturdy, tough, big defensive line, and they have a lot of corners to cover. So I think that's a tough matchup. They play the Chiefs twice. I mentioned in my Chiefs breakdown, I do think this year the Chiefs will sweep them. Although I could see the Raiders beating them because they beat them before, including last year. So I wouldn't rule them out of winning a game here, but it's unlikely. Okay, week 11, they play the Bengals. This is one of those games where it could go either way. I have the Bengals winning in a shootout type game. Again, I think the Bengals and Raiders are pretty similar teams, honestly. And I could see it going either way. I think the Bengals wide receiving core is probably the difference in this game. Week 12, the Cowboys on, I believe, Thanksgiving in Dallas. I have the Cowboys winning. I think that's Thanksgiving, but I could be wrong. Week 13, the Washington football team in Vegas. I have the football team. They have a very, very good defense, which I think will really help them win this game. Fitzpatrick has proven he can play well versus the Raiders before, and I think he'll make plenty of plays. They play the Raiders, or the Browns play the Raiders in week 15, and I have the Browns winning at home in Cleveland. I think the Browns are one of the best teams in the NFL this year. And week 17, they play the Colts on the road. I have the Colts. So right now, I have them at 4-12, guys. I think the Raiders are going to take a step back this year. I have not loved their offseason. I really haven't. I want to say the Raiders will do better because I like John Gruden as a coach. I like Derek Carr. I like players on their team. But they have yet to improve their defense significantly. Yes, they've improved it, but not enough for my liking. And their offense has gotten worse. So I think that is going to mean they're one of the worst teams in football. All right? Not like one of the 3 worst, but somewhere in the top 10 in the draft. That's how I see it. I had the Dolphins beating them, and I think I'm going to stick with that for now. But I could definitely see the Raiders winning this game because they should have beat Tua last year. So that being said, they could win that game. But I think the Dolphins are good enough now on offense with their weapons that they brought in to beat the Raiders, but I could be wrong. So I have the Raiders at 4-13. I don't like doing this. In fact, I hate it. I like the Raiders. I want the Raiders to be good. I always want the Raiders to be good because it's good for football, especially now that they're in Las Vegas, because that's fun. But I just don't think they're good this year. Again, Raiders fans, I know you guys, you always comment on my videos, and I appreciate it. I said the same thing with Lions fans, man. Like, I just don't think you guys are good this year. I just don't, and I don't think you're taking that step forward. I think you're taking that step back before you can take that step forward. And there will be a lot of questions to be answered in Vegas, come next year and next offseason. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my analysis, make sure you do Gronk spike that like button, subscribe for more, and check out the rest of the AFC West in the playlist. Peace.